Hi y'all, welcome to a new video. Today, what's old is new. I have a whole bunch of older products, things that have been sitting in my stash for a while that I just haven't used because I have been otherwise focused on newer things, more interesting things, flashier things. And today I just want to dive in and appreciate some of my older makeup. This includes things in my project pan and things that I use on a regular basis because they are bangers for a reason. There are things that I have gotten that I have been using on the regular for a reason. So we're gonna, I do have a couple new things that we're gonna play with. Looking on my desk, I have a couple new things that I want to play with, but let's get started. Okay, so first thing I want to do is use two primers. One is the YSL Touche Éclat. This is a mini that has been in my project pan and I'm really trying to focus on using it. Oh, first, sunscreen. I just put on a nice healthy layer of the Merit Great Skin. I've had this stuff for a long time and it's fabulous, especially underneath the In Beauty Project Mineral Glow sunscreen, because this dries out my skin. But when I put it on top of this, they actually like each other. So I'm gonna do like 2 fingers worth and start working that in. Y'all, I cut my hair a few weeks ago and at first I was like, this is so short, what am I gonna do with it? But I'll tell you, I wake up in the morning and I run my fingers through it and I put a little bit of product in it and it is beautiful. It's like the texture I want, it's the shape I want. My hairstylist did an amazing job. And somehow magically, by drying my bangs back from my face, they actually stay like floofy. They've got volume, they have texture, which is exactly what I want, and I'm just absolutely thrilled. All right, there is some sunscreen to start your Wednesday. All right, I do have like I said, I have a couple new things to play with, and I think the first thing I want to do is my brows. I have really been enjoying this Maybelline Super Fluff brow gel, the Super Fluff brow gel. So I don't need a lot of hold. I just kind of want to fill in what's already there and emphasize the shape. That's all I'm looking for from a brow gel, is to just give my brows a little bit of definition. And this does that really nicely. It doesn't get clumpy, it doesn't flake, it doesn't ball up and add extra product. And the wand comes out nice and usable. Look at that. It's so easy. It's so easy. So yeah, I was in the drugstore, I was waiting for a prescription, and I saw that Maybelline had released some new makeup, and my little goblin brain went, okay. So I bought some new things. I picked up some new things and then I fell over. All right, so this is the YSL Touche Éclat. I've found that my favorite place to use this is under my eyes. So we're gonna do a little bit of that, a little bit on the sides of my nose to help blur those pores. And I do have a little texture right on the base of my chin. It's where I tend to get a lot of dead skin. I did a peeling gel the other night and all of the dead skin from my T-zone, specifically my nose and my chin and like all down here, is just ridiculous. Oh, it feels really nice. So that Touche Éclat is gorgeous. Very smoothing, very blurring, very beautiful. We like very much. I'm then gonna go in with a little bit of Auric Glow Lust. This, again, just like the Great Skin, This, just like the Merit Great Skin, is an absolutely beautiful product that I just don't reach for very often. And I think part of it is that it's such a big bottle that it lives in my storage with all of my other base products. And I just don't think of it as like necessarily a base product, but it is. Like, I've actually worn this as coverage. And I guess today we are eschewing brushes because I am just using my fingers. No, I want a brush. I want the brush. BK109 to the rescue. So I've been saying this for a long time, but I'm thinking I'm gonna, once I get my overhead setup cleared up, I know there's been a lot of shaking and the background hasn't been the prettiest. So once I get that cleared up, I'm gonna do some overhead videos and probably a brush declutter because I have so many brushes. And when I did recently wash them, it became clear to me which brushes I use on a regular basis and which ones I don't. All right, so that already looks really beautiful, but this video did say I was going to use my project pan stuff. So I'm going to use the About Face foundation and the Glossier concealer. And I need something on my lips. The Ulla Henriksen is right here. This is beautiful. I love it. I reach for this just about every day. Y'all, that orange creamsicle. Oh, that's yummy. Oh, that is yummy. You know, if my mom is a huge fan of flavors. I almost said fragrances. So I'm just dipping, dibby dab dab. I'm not like swirling or going in and picking up too much because this is, despite the fact that it is a relatively thin formula, it packs a punch. And I see why it has been a bestseller and why it's got the like cult following that it does. It's a gorgeous concealer. Anyway, as I was saying, my mom loves orange creamsicle flavors, but like, why would I gift her something when she doesn't use lip balm? She just doesn't. She prefers chapstick, which I'm just, no. And then I'm gonna go in on my red nose. Sometimes I feel like I am related to Rudolph, the reindeer. Sometimes, you know, it seems important to make that clear. So anything exciting going on in my life? Not really. And sometimes that's okay. Spring is coming. I have flowers in front of my house. I have been taking my cat outside. You know, I've been seeing a couple people, nothing serious. And spending some time with friends. And just practicing a lot of like self-compassion, especially when it comes to comparing myself to others. I have been learning, you know, I'm always learning more about my ADHD and what that means for my life now and what it has meant for my life up to this point. And apparently, people with ADHD tend to suffer with chronic pain a lot more frequently than those without, which explains why I have pretty much dealt with some kind of pain my entire life. Most of my life, I have dealt with some form of chronic pain. And it makes sense. It's really pretty foundation. It really is. You can blend it out so it's just the lightest veil of coverage. I'm gonna get makeup on and then I'm going to the gym. I have been going to the gym again lately. One of the not so fun side effects of my spinal surgery is that I gained a lot of weight. And again, trying not to judge myself. All right, This is not really old. I have had it for a while, but I've also been using it and really appreciating it for what it is. This is the e.l.f. Camo Contour in the lightest shade. I don't know what shade that is. Yeah, this is the problem with drugstore makeup, is you don't usually find the shade on the product. But if you are a goily on a budget, this contour is beautiful. And I'm really surprised because I tried this first, and then I bought one of their camo blushes when I was on a blush dupe hunt. And I was really disappointed in the formula. Like, it was patchy, it didn't blend out. And I was just like, what the blibbity blop is this? What the butt? Because their contour is so pretty. Y'all, my hair is growing back. My hair in the front, look at these. I got little hair growth, guys. Oh, I'm on oral minoxidil, so Rogaine. I've only been on it about a month. I just renewed my first prescription. But part of it was the haircut. You know, losing some of the weight meant that I was going to lose less hair. And it's helping. I took a shower and just noticed how little hair was in the drain afterwards, how little hair came off in my brush. Oh, I'm so happy. I sleep with my hair in a ponytail, like a high ponytail, and I wake up and I take it out and I give it a little zhuzh. And even now it could use a wash. It's been a couple of days, but I have a date Saturday night, so I'll wash it, I don't know, Friday. I'll wash it Friday, and that'll be that. This is something new. This is the Maybelline Lifter Sticks. The one I've really been using a lot is shade 35. I also got shade 5, which is supposed to be a highlight stick, but for me, it's basically like a coverage product, and it's a little heavy, and I don't love it. However, shade 35, so BK112, nice little floofy brush. This is the prettiest, least orange drugstore cream bronzer I have ever found. Like, I like my luxury makeup. I like my luxe prestige makeup. But, you know, if the drugstore is going to deliver, I have no complaints. Look at that. Look at that. It's so easy. It's so pretty. And it doesn't cling. It's not patchy. It just blends out really beautifully. And when I got these, I was like, all right, I'm going to try them. I might just not even review them. I might just have to return them because I know drugstore makeup. No, this is lovely. I am very happy to have found it. I have not yet watched Louis Theroux's documentary on the Manosphere. In all honesty, I'm a little scared because I get Manosphere stuff coming across my YouTube feed. So the next thing this is an ABH blush. It's a stick blush in the shade Latte. I bought this when I finished my Finding Ferdinand blush in Latte. And it's a little bit cooler, but it's really pretty. It's a little bit more peachy. And then I have another brighter blush that I was putting on top. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to watch that documentary. I did go to the No Kings protest here in Ohio on Saturday, this past weekend. And I haven't been to a political rally since college. I've been dealing with, you know, life and pain, and I've been voting. I've been speaking out where I can. I've been participating when and where I can. But like getting into a rally and a march and just feeling solidarity, feeling Like, there are so many of us who are frustrated by what's happening and feel the need to, you know, speak out and vote for those who don't have our privilege. And I saw this like right-wing podcaster dude confront a woman and be like, yo, there's no Black people here. And she's like, no, this is not a safe space for them. If someone is going to get arrested at this event, it is going to be somebody of color. So y'all stay home and we will speak and we will hold space for you. And I thought that was a really lovely statement. I thought that was a really lovely statement about speaking up for people. All right, I'm gonna do my eyes and then we'll touch up with some blush. I'm gonna go in with just a little bit of my Merit Solo Shadow in Studio. I love this shadow. I did just add a little bit more MAC Fix Plus to soften it because it was starting to dry. And as long as it's not smelling bad or acting funky, I am more than happy to keep using it. Yeah, the mood at the event was great. I was already downtown for my ceramics class, my ceramic studio time on Saturdays, and I mentioned in class while we were all working that I wanted to go, and I asked if anybody else was going, and the sweetest little old couple was like, yeah, we're gonna go. Do you want to come with us? And they were so sweet. It was so much fun to get to know them. All right, Ciel, this is Elodie. This was one of my most used blushes last summer because it is watermelon pink and I love it. I love this shade. I'm just gonna put a little bit right there on the front of my cheeks. And then use the same brush to just blend and blur and push. It was a long day. It was a lot of walking. My body is still trying to recover, hence the need to go to the gym and get some movement in. But I came home and showed my mom all the pictures that I took of, you know, there were some fabulous signs. There really were. There were just, the energy was fabulous. There were people in like inflatable costumes. A woman gave me this bracelet that it says fuck Trump in Morse code. And I've been wearing it every day since I got it. I think it's amazing. It makes me so happy. Just that little spicy pettiness. Yeah, I'm here for it. All right, eyeshadow. This is something that I used the other day and I was like, why haven't I used this? It's so pretty and it's not available to everybody. So like, that's why I haven't been using it. But this is the, one of the Hindash color fluids. This is the only shimmer that Hindash made. And it is in the shade Boy Tears. And look at that. Look at that. It's so shiny. So we're going to put this on my eyelids. And I've made the mistake of trying to layer this with like powder shadows. And no, it sings by itself. It is a solo act. But it does perform pretty nicely on top of that, the Merit cream. So I'm just going to go in and tap, tippy tippy tap. I'll take a little bit on my finger. And there we go. It's so pretty. So yeah, Saturday was a busy day. I was so hungry and tired that on my way home, I live about 25 minutes from the downtown area. So as soon as my Lyft driver dropped me off at my car, I headed home and I stopped halfway to get tacos and a beer. And by the time I got back home, I was starving again. So I ordered a gluten-free pizza from a local pizzeria, and it wasn't huge. It was like smaller than a medium-sized pizza, but I ate the entire thing, and I have no regrets. It's my favorite pizza from them. It has fig jam and onions and prosciutto, and the only thing that I asked them to leave off is the gorgonzola. I am not a fan of gorgonzola cheese. All right, what else do we need? Let's do some eyeliner. I believe these are still available on Make Beauty's website. So these are the, oh shoot, what are these called? Continuum gel liners. Why do I always swatch in the worst possible places? So that is the shade Gamma Ray. Yeah, Gamma Ray. And it is this beautiful olive green. And given the punch of pink on the cheek, I think this is going to be really pretty. But I need to move my mirror closer so I can get to my enlarging disc. Because I can't see shit. If you are a YouTube creator, please let me know how many videos you have started to do research for or started to work on and then just abandoned halfway through. Because I started a video that required a lot of research and a lot of time. And I worked on the research and I put in the time. And now I'm kind of stuck as to where to go next. Like, how do I actually start assembling this video? I'm a little confused. You know, I can theorize all I want. I can say this is what I want to make. But when the cards are down, whether or not I follow through, that's anybody's guess. I really like that green liner. It's, as far as eyeliners go, and green liners especially, it's more subtle. It does thicken up my lash line, and it gives me just a little bit of boost for my natural eye color, and I really like it the way it interacts with the blush. I am going to go in with my Phytosurgence blush under my eye, or bronzer under my eyes. This is just a trick that I use to blend my under eyes into my blush and into the rest of my face, because I don't love this stark contrast of the brightness under my eyes compared to the rest of my face. I feel like this just kind of flattens out that pocket under my eye and gives me, you know, it just blends into the rest of my face is the word I want. Yes. Those are the words I want. Okay, I'm gonna use a little bit of powder. Come on, where'd you go? That's not nice. Why are you hiding? It's right here. It's sitting on its end right in front of me. This is the Kosas Cloud Set in the shade Airy. I replaced the tape. I put new tape because the powder itself is fine, but the packaging is destroyed. And you know this because I've said this before. All right, powder the center of my forehead. Because even though I put the Auric Glow Lust there, I want that like really diffused, beautiful skin. And then a little bit on my marionette lines. A little bit on the tip of my nose because my nose starts running. And I like knowing that my makeup there is set. And around my mouth. And then I do have a new lip to play with. But I'm going to go in with my Milani mascara because it's my Milani mascara. A little tippy tap under the eyes. I'm going to, let me do mascara first and then we'll do a lip. Don't give me lip. Anybody else ever hear that from their parents? Don't give me lip. I'm gonna go a little easy with the mascara today because why not? I'll tell you, I don't know if it's the weather or the moon or my hormones or what. I am having some of the funkiest dreams. I had a dream about an ex-boyfriend. And literally, I dated this guy 3 months and I dumped him because he was a POS. He's a piece of dog poop. But for some reason, I was having dreams about him. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why is my brain putting me in this situation? And I had a dream that I was sharing an apartment with my high school theater teacher. I don't know what that was about, but my bedroom was in the kitchen. It was very strange. Very strange. All right. So what are these things called? Like the 3D volumizing something or other. Yeah, the 3D volumizing gloss. So during the 21 days of beauty sale, I picked up like maybe 3 or 4 pieces of skincare and makeup. I did buy some conditioner, which is what's helping my hair have some shape and some definition, and I love it. But I also picked up 2 of these. I've been watching a lot of Amanda Z's videos on Korean beauty, and she mentioned that these were like her favorite gloss. And I saw them go on sale. I'm like, maybe I should try those. I'm not trying the Fui pudding pots. I'm just not. It's not my jam. But these, I love the concept that Fui put into these. So you've got this one that's in more of the translucent container that is a 30% pigmentation. And the one that's in the full glass container, the full color is 70%. So I'll start with the 30 and then we'll add the 70 on top so y'all can see the difference. Maybe I should like split my lips in. Yeah, I'll split my lips in half. I'll do the 30 on this side. Now, I do have a little bit of a bone to pick. But it's not this applicator. I do genuinely love the applicator. It's pointy, it's sharp, it's flocked, but it's got a lot of flat surface and it gives you a whole lot of control. I really appreciate that. But this is the shade Scotch. Both of them are the same shade. I wanted to compare shade to shade. All right, so there you can see the left side is definitely more bold, more pigmented, but this is supposed to be a brown and it's not. It's more of a soft rose. It's a good color for me. I like the color, but it's not brown. It's not what was advertised on Ulta's site. It's also not what was advertised on YesStyle. And it's a little disappointing. It's a little bit disappointing. I do really like it. I love the texture. I like the fragrance even. I am really persnickety about fragrance. I will say be careful that if you put too much in the corners, it can kind of gather and get a little gloopy. I love how plush they are. They do transfer because they're not a transfer proof lip product. They wear really well. The color is beautiful, but it's not brown. So I wonder how off the rest of the shades are. So let's just do like a little side-by-side swatch on the back of my hand, because my lips are already pretty pigmented. I don't know if you can actually see the difference between the 30 and the 70. Well, if you ever had any doubt about the staying power of those Make Beauty eyeliners, they don't go away. All right, so on the top of my hand here is the 30%, and on the bottom is the 70, and those are both built up as much as I can build them up. But again, on my already pigmented lips, you can kind of see that the 70 looks more like a lip product. It really does. It does. We're gonna just touch on everything real quick. I am gonna degloopify the corners of my mouth, and I'm gonna put on the 30 and just it does. It's got kind of like a fruit punch candy fragrance, which I like. But yeah, I finally found a hairstyle that like matches my feral chaos goblin vibe, which I appreciate. All right, let's work backwards. See if I can remember everything. Excuse you. See if I can remember everything I put on my face. All right. See if I can find everything I put on my face. All right, so first we have the In Beauty Project Mineral Sun Glow on top of the Merit Great Skin. This is a great combination. I can't wait to be done with this. I don't love it. The Touche Éclat, I like this. If I was to buy a blurring primer and have the money for YSL, I might consider purchasing this one. But I don't normally use blurring primers because I don't feel like I need them. The Auric Glow Lust. This is beautiful. I keep forgetting just how much I love this because it's so big and I just don't have space to keep things displayed on my desk. I've had this bottle for a long time and it is just an amazing all-in-one product. I've used this as base. I've used this to mix in with my base. I've used this as a highlighter. It just does, it's such a heavy hitter. It does a lot. All right, where'd you go? The Maybelline Super Fluff Brow Gel. Yeah, home run. It's beautiful. It doesn't get crunchy. It lasts all day. It does dry down. You can go in with additional powders or pencil if you want. I haven't done that because I don't really need it. I have kind of filled in the front where I don't have hairs when I want my brows to be just a little more exaggerated. This is in the shade, I believe this is soft brown. I'm impressed, but it's not hard to impress me with a brow gel. As long as it's not overly pigmented, not streaky, doesn't create little balls. It drives me nuts when I get a brow gel, words, that leave like tiny little balls in my brows. I hate it. I hate it. Glossier Boy Brow did that. No, unforgivable. Off with their head. Unforgivable. All right, the e.l.f. contour. If this is the direction that, and this has been out for a while, but if this is the direction that drugstore makeup is going, along with this Maybelline lifter stick and the brow gel, these are all drugstore. And if this is the direction that drugstore makeup is going, I am here for the ride. I am on board. I am all for it. This is boring makeup at its best. The blush. So we used ABH Latte, which is a beautiful desaturated beige. And on top of that, a little bit of the CL Liquid Blushes, the Blush and Protect in Elodie. I love this color. I love it. I'm excited for spring. I'm excited for summer. I'm excited to wear brighter blushes and get into this gigantic pile, this gigantic bin of cream blushes. It's just ridiculous. And I'm trying to figure out what I have, what I like to wear, so that when I do a declutter, I am more well-informed. I'm sad that this is not available. I have heard that Hindash is going to be re-releasing his color fluids. I don't know if Boy Tears is going to be among it. Did I say this is Boy Tears? Because it's called Boy Tears, and I love that. I love it. It makes me laugh. the Make Beauty Pencil in Gamma Ray. I also have one in Halo. They make these in some of the funkiest colors. They're great. They're a beautiful pencil. They do last pretty well, unless you're crying. I wore one to a wedding and just cried it all off within a few minutes. All right, what else? The Kosas powder. I mean, you can tell how much I love this because the package is broken and it's down to its last limbs. Oh, I did not mention the Performer foundation. If this was my shade, it might still be in my stash and I might just be naturally using it, but this one is too yellow. However, I can make it work. It'll work better as we go into spring and summer and I start getting a little bit more sun. But it's a nice foundation. It gives really nice coverage. It doesn't look dry or cakey. It lasts pretty well. I don't find it like fading or smudging off. Obviously, if you don't powder it, it's not going to last as well, especially if you're rubbing your nose. I rub my nose a lot because it's itchy. The Glossier Stretch Concealer, this is gorgeous. I have understood for a long time why it is such a hit. And why it has been one of these Glossier products that has been around for so long and had such good staying power, both on the face and in the cosmetic market in general. The Milani mascara, I have sung the praises of this mascara for more than a year since I first found it, and I love it. I love it. I used to send friends and family who were getting married a tube of the Thrive. If I was going to do that again for a friend, I would send them this because it's, in my opinion, it's better. Because I like a little bit more volume. I like to be able to layer it and get my lashes fluffy. And I have gone through with the brush from my 1990. Is that what this is? Oh, it's 1999. So this is just a really fine mascara. I've also used this as a brow gel, but it's got that tiny little wand. So I'll put on the Milani, I'll brush it through, and then I'll add a little bit more mascara. I'll add a little bit more of the Milani, and it just separates and fluffs and is really beautiful, but also dramatic and voluminous. So you can work with it in different ways. It's lovely. And then these lip glosses from Fui, they're really pretty. They're not the like neutral brown that I was hoping, but they are a really beautiful formula if this is a color that you're going for. So just take it with a grain of salt when you look at the swatches online, that they're not necessarily that true to color. I believe that will do it for today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope you all are taking care of yourself. If you celebrate, happy Passover and happy spring. Oh, spring has sprung in the most beautiful of ways. I hope you are taking care of yourselves so you can take care of each other, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, friends. I really did not intend my lips to match my shirt, but they do. Did my collar stay popped? No, because this shirt is just too soft for that. But I do actually like the popped collar. Khaki, I swear to God. I am an amalgam of Hannah Louise Poston and Khaki Reviews Beauty. A little bit of Amanda Z thrown in there, but me at the core. Sigh no more, lady, sigh no more, of man so dull and heavy. The fraud of man was ever so, since summer first was leafy. Sigh not so, but let them go, and be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey nonny nonny. Sing no more, ditty, sing no more, of dumb so dull and heavy. Da 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 da. All right.